We want more money. How do we get it? We talk to Dominic Alafaci. Why? Because he can get us more money by planning your future. That's what he does at Collins House. Dominic, good morning to you.
Good morning to you, Darren, and happy Australia Day Eve.
Oh, look, tomorrow I'm excited about it. The actual day falling on a Sunday is great. No, it's going to be a fantastic day, and as we've discussed, it's celebrating the greatest country in the world. How did the market go in other parts of the world?
Well, it's a very long story. I'll be really quick if I can. Overnight, we saw Wall Street slightly weaker after flirting with record highs following the 5th of November US election results. The Dow Jones Industrial Average fell 141 points to 44,424, whilst the Nasdaq gave back 99 points and the S&P 500 was 17 points lower. Across the Atlantic, London's FTSE dropped 63 points, with the French, German and Italian bourses mixed. However, shares in Hong Kong rose almost 2% on the prospect of warmer US-China relations following US President Donald Trump's virtual address to the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland yesterday, which added to positive sentiment. In addition to Trump's previously announced sweeping economic and social reforms, the other big international news was that the Bank of Japan increased interest rates to 0.5%, the highest since 2008. 0.5%, wow. And in other news, gold put on $12.80 to $2,777.80 US an ounce. Silver rose 20 cents to $31.01 US an ounce. West Texas Cement, it was basically steady at $74.57 US a barrel, and Brent crude was slightly higher at $78.42 a barrel. Closer to home, the A dollar was stronger against the greenback and is currently buying 63.16 US cents, with the ASX 200 by 10 points lower, following Friday's effort where our market put on 30 points to end the week at 8,409.
Excellent. If you would like to talk to Dominic, any questions at all, the lines are free. 133 693. Call now to ask Dominic anything you like. A mate of mine asked me to ask you a question. He's got a self-funded super. He's got self-funded super, and he's got a property in his superannuation package, and he's paying high interest. He said 10-point-something% on the loan of the investment property that he's got in his super, and he's got a small house loan that he's paying off, which is coming in at, I think, 5-point-something%. He wants to know, can he add money onto that home loan of his and then pay off the super loan using his home loan, if you know what I mean, to save money on interest rates?
Darren, that's a really good strategy, subject to you satisfying the bank's lending criteria. But we often do the after-tax cost of borrowing for money, because you've got to think about the home loan. Whilst it's 5%, that's pre-tax. So you have to go and earn, say, 7 or 8 cents. Pay your tax and then pay the home loan. The super fund, you only get a 15% tax deduction on the interest. But look, it's certainly worth looking at. And so get your buddy to give me a buzz. And by the way, I've still got to fix your super fund up from about November. That's right. So we better get together, mate. I apologise. I think I was supposed to contact you before Christmas, but I just got too busy. That's so I apologise, mate.
No worries. Hey, we've got some calls here, Dominic. Scott joins us. Good morning.
Yes, good morning, gents. Just got a question about...
Scott. How can we help?
Yes, good morning. Just got a question about lump sum into super. I believe you can put 300,000 in one hit for... is that correct?
It depends on your circumstance, Scott, but yes, you can. You can probably put in 330. You may even be able to put 440 over about 2 weeks if you do it properly close to the end of the financial year. Yes, you can, basically, provided you're under 75.
Under 75. Is there a limit on the amount of super you can in your account before that to add to it? Or, is there a maximum amount before you can add to super, or minimum amount? Or
do you have more than $3 million?
No.
Okay, then you've got nothing to worry about.
Not to worry about.
It's simple, Scott. So go and win Tats Lotto and pump your super up over the next few years, and then come back in a couple of years and say, Dom, I got more than $3 million. I'll say, well, it's going to be hard.
Yeah. Good on you, Scott. Well done. Thanks for the call. To Peter, good morning.
Good morning, boys. I'm
Pete.
super. Can I say who I'm with or not?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's AMP North it's called. Yeah?
Yep.
And I'm seeing on my, my bills thing, they take out a lot of extra stuff for this, for that, for this, for that. And I'm thinking of changing, but where do I go to, Dominic? What's a good one to go to, you think, for super?
Look, Peter, AMP North's a good provider. You may not need all of the extras that they have on the product. Sometimes they're valuable and you should pay for them. Sometimes they're not of any benefit. So it's a bit like, do you need paddle shifters on the car that you're buying, or do you need the extra mag wheels? So it's really the added extras. If you don't need them, you shouldn't have them. Peter, roughly how much do you have in super?
About the 300.
All right. Well, look, probably the best thing to do is leave your details off air, and I'll get some. I think Lauren's there today, so if you leave your details off air, I'll get someone to call you to see if they can do a comparison for you, because it may be in your best interest to move. It may be in your best interest to stay. We need to ask you about, half a dozen to a dozen questions before we can even, contemplate giving you some advice.
That would be good. Thank you so much.
Good on you, Peter. Hold the line. We'll get all your details through, Lauren. You're right there. Lauren's with us, the Loz dog, we call her, and the Ant-Man is the other one on deck this morning. The Ant-Man and the Loz dog. Normally the cockroach is working with us, but she's having the weekend off. More calls coming up. Dominic Alafaci is here at 7 to 10. 133693 for any questions to Dominic Alafaci. We're talking finance. Dominic is from Collins House, and Jack has called through. Hi, Jack.
Good morning, top of the morning to you fellas.
You too, Jackie boy.
Dominic, I'm curious to hear from you. Now that Trump has come into office and is talking about trying to bring crypto and into the economy and possibly a strategic reserve, do you still hold a dim view of Bitcoin and crypto with that? Do you think that'll legitimize things, or are you still...
Good question. There's probably a higher chance that there'll be some security for Bitcoin investors, because I believe there's none at the moment. People want to throw me under a bus, but you should differentiate between crypto itself and Bitcoin, because there's many other issues. But just to remember, if you're asking about Bitcoin, I won't be buying any until there are better safeguards. And if Mr. Yokimura, or whatever his name is, and the other computer nerds who set the thing up give the keys to, say, the Federal Reserve or the International Monetary Fund or somebody, then I'd consider it. And there's probably a better chance now. Whether they do or they don't is the hard question. But I take your point, Jack, certainly warming towards it if there's a secure mechanism to protect the investors. At the moment, it's on a handshake. And whilst we trust people, when it comes to money, we all know that money is the root of all evil, and people will, some people will stab their grandmother in the neck for $50. So,
right.
And just one more thing, if I may. What's your thoughts about XRP, Ripple, the company Ripple and XRP, given that there seems to be they're working closely together with the banks and adopting their technology? What's your thoughts on that?
Look, I don't know enough about them. I know that XRP's sort of over the last year, I think it's rocketed up six times. I think was it around $1 a while ago, and now it's like $5 or $6, I think. So I think it's around $5. So there's certainly, if you're buying on momentum, you'd be buying XRP, because there's a lot of people who believe the story. But I'm not an expert in that stock, and it's certainly a speculative one. But if you bought them at $1, say, last year, you'd be very, very happy. Now, did you buy them by any chance in November?
I did, yeah.
Oh, well, what did you pay for them?
Just over $1.20. But
yeah, okay. I think...
But as you know, Dominic, until you realise it, there's no profit, right? Everything's on paper until such time, right?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, if you can take some profits, as a general rule, without giving you personal advice, it's common sense to, if you can take your original money off the table and let the rest ride, gee, you'd be doing very well, Jack.
Good on you, Jack. And thanks, Dominic Alafaci. Have a great Australia Day tomorrow, my friend.
Thank you, Darren. Bye-bye.
Bye.